recording. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. So what happens into the loop of Henle? So water is reclaimed, ions are reclaimed. That happens primarily in the descending loop. The ascending loop, so water and ion recovery is in the descending portion of the loop of Henle. Ascending limb pumps out sodium and chloride. As I said, the descending limb absorbs water, and as you move down the loop of Henle, the osmotic pressure, in other words, the concentration of sodium and other ions causes water to leave primarily the descending limb. So the urine concentration rises as fluid is lost, and so most of the water in your urine, depending upon your activity. So suppose you went to a concert and you were drinking beer and being very active, then your system is going to try to reabsorb as much water as possible because beer is a diuretic. Alcohol causes increased loss of water in the urine. Everybody knows if you drink a lot of beer, it's going to stimulate your bladder filling up more quickly and to release water. So again, reabsorption is the recovery of water and ions and amino acids and glucose. Secretion is the elimination of waste and some ions into the kidney tubules. And whatever makes it into the kidney tubules is going to end up in the bladder. So there's a final adjustment in the distal convoluted tubule. Reabsorb sodium in exchange for excretion of potassium and hydrogen. Aldosterone is a hormone from the adrenal glands that increases sodium reabsorption and potassium loss. So another hormone is called the antidiuretic hormone. So it regulates water loss in the distal convoluted tubule. It's going to make the duct permeable to water, and so it's going to reduce the amount of water in the urine, so water exits to the interstitial fluid and then back to the blood. Urine is concentrated. The higher the antidiuretic hormone, the more concentrated the urine. So here's the effect of ADH on the distal convoluted tubule. So you have the glomerulus, the proximal convoluted tubule, the loop of Henle, the descending limb is permeable to water. The ascending limb is reabsorbing sodium and chloride, and you're going to have the increase in concentration as you move down the descending limb, and that water moving out and that sodium and chloride moving out from the ascending limb is going to greatly increase the concentration in the interstitial space. So that's going to help increase and allow much water to move toward the high concentration in the interstitial fluid to end up in the blood. Okay, so the urine becomes much more concentrated, and as you move up, but the interaction of reabsorption of water and the pumping out of sodium chloride is going to regulate the amount of water loss, or the water gained, and the amount of sodium retained. Okay, so again, we had this process. ADH, what it's going to do, the ADH, the antidiuretic hormone, is going to stimulate water reabsorption in the distal convoluted tubules and the collecting duct. So there's multiple points of reabsorption and secretion and retention of water, and hormones such as antidiuretic hormone is going to make sure in situations where you've been sweating profusely, drinking a lot of beer, or just sweating profusely and very active, maximum amount of water is going to be absorbed from the descending loop and from the collecting duct and the distal convoluted tubule. Everybody knows from personal experience that your urine has a different color and a smell depending upon the concentration. More than 99% of the water is reabsorbed from the filtrate, and 93 to 97% of the water is in the urine. Let's stop there. Let's go back here and stop recording. Stop recording. Stop recording.